People are telling the word of God.
Yeah, we're sharing the word of God.
Yeah. Jesus was the
Yeah, we can't think that. What's that? That's the white Jesus on the front. We don't worship that God.
I don't know. Which one you worship?
We worship them for turning around. So we want to show you what we worship. Here we go. We can't ignore that. Who is that? Who is that white people? How we go? So who is that? No, we can't look at that. There's no white or black. We want to show you what we worship. Here we go. We can't ignore that. Who is that? Who is that white people? How we go? So who is that? No, we can't look at that. There's no white or black. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. You gotta talk to them. I'm just thinking of what you gotta talk to them. Yeah, come on now. Come on, break that down. Come on. This right here is not peace or the relative. This is a God that break it down, brother. Break it down, brother. A so-called devil. Yep. Right? It's on the Orgea lineage. It says it right there. It gives you a breakdown in the Renaissance, right? They set him up to be the new Christ or the new Satan, right? He was he slept with a sister, and it was murder by poison. He's a damn devil. All right. And his father slept with him. His father slept with his daughter.
So, yes, the Bible does say that his thing was wrong.
Right, so why y'all got that? Right.
But the main point about it is it was the people that is black, white,
that's not
give me a lifetime.
Somebody get the tip on it. This is 2 Corinthians 11:4. For he that comes preach another Jesus. Y'all gotta learn here today. Y'all gotta see it. Learn. It says, but if he that comes, if the witch, you gonna overtalk the scriptures, y'all. No. You're saying that it doesn't matter a color. So why did John the Revelator give us the fifth? I believe in heaven, and if you don't believe in hell. Yeah, hell can be great. But one thing at a time. Go ahead, brother. This is 2 Corinthians 11:4. For if he that comes preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if you receive another spirit, which you have not received, or another gospel, which you have not accepted, you might well bear with them. Now, according to the Bible, you believe he came in the flesh, right?
That's right.
What did he look like when he came in the flesh?
But that's the thing. That's what the Bible says.
Okay.
We all the people
right?
We believe in the
right.
It's on
salvation. Right. So why do y'all got that?
This is about the thing.
Now, why would we turn this around? We had a problem.
Not that we're.
You said, what is that? Go ahead.
Yeah. This is what brings division among us. We all believe in salvation. We all believe in it. It's fine.
Right.
So this is just a representation. Not that.
That's not a representation. We just told you that's a man. Who was a homo? Hold on, we one thing at a time. Go ahead. This is Luke 12:51, right? And you said it's the body, right? I'm gonna read it. Suppose ye that I have come to give peace on earth, right? I tell you, no, but rather division. Now let me ask you a question. If the grandfather died in a funeral, like would have had a funeral and a burial, he's a black man out there, right? Now you go to the funeral, and there's a big picture of a white Samoan or some big white Chinese man that never fits. Would you have a problem with it? I'm just asking a question. Well, that Christianity that you follow, we didn't say white or black. It's not about white or black.
Okay, thank you so much.
But it's about Indian.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, they don't know the Bible. Hey, don't bring us that damn white sheep. Christianity is you take that white sheep go down the street. That's it out of here. That's what it's bad. I was going to take this, throw that shit on the ground, man. The main point is salvation. They look like we up there speaking Christianity, y'all. Do you know the history of Christianity? Right. They killed God out of Christianity. Do I know the history of Christianity? Somebody get the book of Genesis. Was it 19? With the curse of Cain? Do you know what that means? The Christians believe that everybody was white, right? And the curse of Cain was he was cursed black. Wow. So then we were allowed to be taken to slavery because we were black. Whoa. That's when Martin Luther and all that was trying to teach it, man. Right? Go back to the 1500s. No, that's the point. You know, she tried to say it doesn't matter, right? But when we flip the sign around, he said, what is that? He said, what is that? Then it's that.
All the praises and the honor goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this truth, of this faith. Okay, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, I want to touch on this video. I was working on another video dealing with some scoffers, but I'll get to that later. But I'm kind of tying all that in together because now you have Israelites who have had a change of heart, you know, that left and said all nations can be saved, but then they're not going to be held accountable for the behaviors and the wickedness and the sickness that they've done, mainly by blindfolding us, re-educating us, beating our heritage out of us. You know, it's almost like if somebody come into your home, snatch your family and then move a new family in and make you follow that family. Well, once you wake up, you want to go back to your roots in what you truly believe. Now anyway, this woman, as you see, these black Christian women, they had an issue with the black Jesus, so-called black, but they never had an issue with the white Jesus. And then one of the Christian women said it's all about salvation. So my question is, why is there even an image up? You mean to tell me it's nothing but about salvation, but for whatever reason it's all salvation, it has nothing to do with his color, but you got a picture of a white Jesus? What's up with that? What do you mean it has nothing to do with color? Right? So if I go buy a car and I say I want a Lexus, and then you give me a car that says a Nissan, I want a blue Lexus, and you give me a car that's you give me a black Nissan. Yeah, it has everything to do with it. I wanted a blue Lexus. That's what I'm supposed to have. You just can't say, well, it's a car. It's all about transportation. It's all about you going from point A to point B. No, it's bigger than that. Yeah, it's about salvation, but it's about truth and salvation. The Lord said he's not an author of confusion. But anyway, this is some sick behavior, man. Isaiah 51:17. It says, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which have drunk the hand of the Lord. Right? The cup of his fury. You know, part of the fury and that we drunk of the Lord is he gave us that goddamn white Jesus. Because along with that white Jesus came destruction. They beat that Jesus in us and forced it on us. We wasn't following that. Why did they bring Jesus in that cross with that, man? Why did they bring that over and give that to us? Why do our grandmas got it up in their living room hanging on a wall? So when they get gifted or something works out good for them, they can look at their white Jesus, like on their show Good Times. Florida Evans looked at white Jesus and felt blessed. See, these people believe because they got a job, they got some crumbs, they got some food, that they've conquered captivity. And you haven't. This white Jesus is a form of captivity. Salvation is about truth, and that ain't no damn truth, man. And these black women, they got such an issue with the black Jesus. Like, what is that? But they love the white Jesus. Forget about him, man. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of the trembling and wrung them out. The Lord put a hurting on us, man. Romans 15:4. I'll make this quick. For whatsoever thing was written aforetime were written for our learning, for through patience and comfort of the scriptures we might have hope. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's plenty of examples on that, how you just can't say it's about salvation, but it's not the root of what brings salvation. The picture, well, it don't matter, it's just about salvation. It does matter. You just can't give me any old house that I'm supposed to move into, and I'm believing is one thing, and come to find out it's something else. It doesn't have a basement, it doesn't have an attic, but then you say it's all about having somewhere to live. What about the details? So it's bigger. The biggest thing is salvation, but you just can't go and say it's all about what you see. It ain't about what you see. It's absolutely about what you see. You gave us white Jesus, man. Let's go to Revelation 1. Revelation 1. This is sick, man. And this is psychological damage. When what's his name, Richard Humphreys, during the time of the HBCUs, is pushed the replacement theology, and they opened in those colleges and they re-educated us. A part of that was through Christianity as well. We got re-educated through a form of Christianity, and to take us away from anybody that we can identify with, they put that image up so we can look at these people that look like this as our masters, so we can respect them. Do you realize that's why you look at the black woman, she has so much more respect for that, on that money it says in God we trust, and you got some white presidents on there, right? That's what they do. So anybody white, and they also program this through television, right? When they show us history, is always Charleston Heston, the Israelites, is always showing the Israelites looking like that, right? And even the Egyptians, and then they threw a couple of black Egyptians in there in the movie. They knew exactly what they was doing. What does that do to somebody's mind who's young? Revelation 1:1, the revealing of Yahushua, which God gave unto him to shew unto his servants the things that will shortly come to pass, right? Who bear record of the word of God and the testimony of Yahushua and all the things he saw. I'm going to just skim through this. Revelation 1:14, his head and his hairs were white like wool. When you go into old translations, it says white likened to wool. So the Christians will say, see, this has nothing to do with, this is all parabolic, but then when you get to the complexion, all of a sudden it's physical. No, this is all parabolic to a degree, but it references a likened to. It didn't say his hair was wool. It's likened unto wool, which he has woolly hair. You can see that. It's white as snow, right? White as snow. No, his hair is not snow, but it's likened unto snow. It looks like white. So it says his head and his hairs. Of course, over the years of the translations, they kind of change things. They shortcut it as transliteration occurs, then things get taken out and put in. The other translation said the hair on his head and on his face was white like wool. But if somebody's not sharp, they're not going to catch that. They're going to look and say, so his whole head was white. That's the Christians. They don't look up anything. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were as a flame of fire. Was his eyes fire? No. But it was likened to a flame of fire. If you look at the old translations, it said that. His feet like unto fine brass, and everybody has a problem when I say fine brass is actually dark. I don't know what they don't understand with that. When it's purified, it definitely becomes dark. But the old translation said his feet is like unto lantern. Lantern. And some translation says like unto the, I forgot what tree. The Lebanon tree. Which we know the Lebanon tree is dark. The bark of the Lebanon tree. Translations say that. All right, so that's feet like unto fine brass. And then it goes on to say, as if they burned in the furnace. Now the other translations say, his feet is like unto lantern, as a burnt chimney. A burnt chimney. How much more clear do you want to get than that? So then the Christians will say, well, wait a minute. Here it's talking about all metaphorical, but then here it isn't. No, it still is to a degree, but it's all here. What you see is a description. That's all it is. It's all description. Like if you say a basketball player can jump like a gazelle, that doesn't mean he's a gazelle. It just means he jumped like one. It is describing what he does. Here is describing what it looks like, what he looks like. And then the reason why this is put here, because he had a unique complexion. Because if it was such a big issue, then why would they say that? Because everybody, all the Israelites had some form of complexion, but different shades of brown. But this was a unique, he was well melanated with a unique complexion. You know, now in the 1800s, you had, what's his name? The Mormons, who claimed they believed Jesus was black, but they believed he was cursed black. Yeah, that's what they did. Everything you see is a form of slavery. So now if you're supposed to awake and come back to your roots, why the hell would you keep that white Jesus? It's kind of like having a felony that you never had. And you're walking around with this felony over your head for a bank robbery or something like that. And then you find out later on, I never had a felony for a bank robbery. What are you going to do? Say it doesn't matter. As long as I'm living and I'm all right, it doesn't have anything to do with my life. It has everything to do with your life. Even if you got a good job, you don't want that felony on your record if you didn't acquire that. You know? You don't want a picture of your loved one looking like a damn Moabite if they wasn't one and they look like what you see them to look like. Pictures are everything when it comes to identifying. But for some reason with Jesus, as they say, the Messiah, the pictures don't mean anything. Yeah, right. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.